Like that's not it. That's not really an excuse. There have been countless people every fucking year, every decade, throughout fucking life. People have come out of the fucking woodworks into life and become somebody in this fucking world, and their story is I came from nothing. So no matter what it is, there's motherfuckers who ain't got legs who made themselves into something. Fucking Stephen Hawking, whatever. The that motherfucker. He ain't have no excuse. That motherfucker was like this. That motherfucker had to talk by moving his lip like this. Imagine being like this.
I see what you're saying, Hobson, but it's like, like it's not that I'm being negative. I'm just grounded in the basis of reality. You know what I'm saying? Most people, like you say, there's no excuses, but it's like there's not even. I can't even say there's not an excuse. There's not even a choice because an excuse is like, oh, excuse is like an excuse is like the same thing as a cop out. Or you're just copying up because you don't want to. But no, some people don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not that I'm mad at you for saying this, but it's like you got to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to like turn out delusional by hearing something like this. You know what I'm saying? So most people cannot like just make it. You know what I'm saying? You got to count out their environment, their mental issues, and just a bunch. Or they may even have like a disease. So it's like it's not even that. It's not even possible. Everybody's not born equal. They may look human, but it's really not equal. I mean, you do have people. I mean, most people they can do basic functions, but it's like when it comes to fundamental stuff, they can't really like do it because they have like issues. You know what I'm saying? And some they could like, of course, do basic functions, but some may even need assistance because they crash out, they have seizures, so it's like they can't even do that too. So that ain't even out the equation. So it's like it's not even like possible. Like most people just there is you can't even say no excuses. You mean that you really mean that they have no choice. You mean that you're trying to say that they have a choice when it's like it's almost like it's like it's not true. They don't have a choice. Most people don't have a choice like that. People have different brain capacities. You know what I'm saying? If you have like a person like who does this or whatever, there's only going to be so long before they like stop or snap and give up. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? When you're like on a path to success and do what you got to do, that's why I tell you guys to be strong because there's going to be a lot of stuff not going your way. And that's why I say only a small percentage of people go through cross that bridge because it's kind of risky, and a lot of it is like not guaranteed. I'm not saying you can't; it's impossible. It's like you got to be very strong. Not people don't even people can't afford to even do that because they probably have mental issues, they have diseases, or they got to like take care of like their parents. Their parents are old, so they can't even afford to even take that risk. Or they may even have children. They probably had children by accident or something happened whatsoever. So it's like they can't even take that risk. Some people are just doomed in the way that it is. Like people are not gonna break it down to you like that. It's just some people they have no choice. You can't even say excuse because they have no choice. An excuse is the same thing as cop out. That's like saying they don't want to do it, but it's like it's not even if they want to do it or not. They just don't even have the freaking choice to. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say like I'm not forcing people to do what they do or focus on success, have visualizations, all that stuff because it's not a sweet road. At first, it's gonna be like a lot of stuff not going your way. I'm not saying manifestation is not real. Manifestation is real. All this stuff is real, but it's like you gotta count this grounded reality. This reality is so grounded and it's like so firm. So it's just like energies and all that. So it's like it's not that simple. There's only a small percentage of people who can deal with the nudges because it's painful. You gotta be emotionally strong, like you know. People don't talk about this. There's gonna be a lot of stuff going your way. You're gonna have people not talking to you anymore, and you just now started doing what you got to do, doing everything right. People are just gonna leave you, and the raw thoughts gonna come because you're doing something else and something just not not the same. as what people are used to. So they just gonna look at you a certain way. This is how this matrix designed it to be, quote unquote, the system. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say the system. Hashmi forgot that we lived in the system. It don't really matter the race. I mean, argue that even if you're black, it may even be worse. But I'm just saying we live in a system at the end of the damn day. Why I think there's different personalities and all this stuff? It's made like that on purpose. Everybody just can't make it. It's just never gonna happen. I'm not saying they can. It's impossible, but there's always a likelihood to things. There's always a likelihood in the chances and overalls of things. That's what you got, actors and factors. People don't add this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just foolish, bro. Like, it's just goofy. I mean, he said that people have no excuses. I mean, you said Stephen Hawkins, he had a leg problem. I forgot what he had, cerebral palsy. He was like this with his neck down. But Stephen Hawkins is not even a good example. First of all, like I said, people have different brain capacities. Yeah, plus he was already born with that type of like genius like way because his brain, he was born like that. So that's like an anomaly, bruh. Yeah, or he may have certain people or whatever. So that's not even normal. The average person who's like paralyzed like that don't even have that type of way of thinking like Stephen Hawking. So that's out of the damn way. That's so out of reality, bruh. You know, you're just not gonna. It's not easy to make it, bruh. It's not simple. I mean, you could do the things, but beware when stuff comes that's not your way. You're gonna have stuff coming for you, like like it's not gonna be sweet. So if you're not ready to cross the bridge or do what you gotta do, then don't even do it. It's not gonna be sweet. You know what I'm saying? You hear people like they're talking about the inconveniences and all that. It's not sweet. So be careful. You got to be really strong. And some people they just can't afford to even go through that bridge and do what they got to do because they got problems already and this responsibilities. Even some of the responsibilities not theirs. It's just been pushed along to them. And they're adults, so it's like they almost have no choice. So it doesn't even make sense, bruh. You got to add an environment. Like, are they poor? What type of place are they in? Is there drugs around them? Is there certain people around them? Is there you just gotta add on that. What type of people that's around them? Are they families like you just don't even add on the factor, bro. You know, do they have kids or are they taking care of this kid because this parent was irresponsible or this or blah 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 happened? Are you adding this? Do they have a disease or whatever? Which disease was passed on to each other? Are they sick? Whatever type of thing. Like people have these underlying things and all this stuff. So it's like do they have PTSD? So it's not like everybody can make it. It's only a small percentage of people. That's why they say the strongest survive. It's not made for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, the strongest survive. You know, it's about how often you can push. Most people can't even do that. And even if you do that stuff, how just because you be strong and do all that stuff, you got to make sure the thing that you're doing actually works. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the hell? That's why I don't really watch these millionaires on YouTube because it's like, these guys, because you got to check the background. They wouldn't have it so bad. They probably was like middle class, but they wasn't like in a bottom like people like us. Like, like people just be like not telling the truth all the way. You know, it's just, you know, you said like people have no excuses. You can't even say no excuses. You mean they don't have a choice? You're trying to say they have a choice? Like, it's not even possible. Like, it's not even possible because you gotta add the overall, the factors, all that stuff. You know, as humans, we work on patterns. You have behavioral patterns, so it's like you can slip up. And how long has they been doing this habit? So it's like it's just too much things to add, bro. You know, not everybody's just gonna make it. I'm gonna just, and it's not. It's kind of meant that way too. It's just that's why they call it the rat race. A bunch of mice fighting for this little speck of cheese. You know, and they this them like that. The people who made the system made that word up. Rat race is done on purpose. 9 to 5. It's done on purpose, bruh. Got these people rat race. It's a very dirty game, bruh. When you know that they look at us as mouse chasing a speck of cheese. When you're supposed to eat that speck of cheese, all you know is to eat the speck of cheese. You know, so I take heed to this, bruh. Anyways, I'm out. Y'all take care. Peace.